Hey everyone, Dietitian Teresa here and certified personal trainer, back at it with another video for you. I'm going to talk about my tips to help you lose that stubborn belly fat that you might be so fed up with at this point that you're willing to do anything and everything just to get rid of the belly fat that seems to never leave. This is not going to be a video where I'm telling you about magic supplements or magic pills, anything like that to create a magic solution. I'm not about that. I'm about consistency, applying nature's remedies, and just putting in the work to then see the long-term results you're actually after. So if you're in this and you want to lose that stubborn belly fat, you got to stay tuned to the end of this video because I got some great tips in here that are simple yet very attainable. And so let's hop on into today's video. First, I want to go through nutrition with you. When you are trying to lose belly fat, there is no magic one certain food that's going to solve all your problems. Really what it comes down to in my approach is to make sure that you are volumizing your meals with fiber, and that fiber coming mainly from non-starchy vegetables, so you get in the micronutrients and minerals as well. Then you want to choose a fiber-rich carb source most of the times. In my bowl I'm making here, I do have white rice, which is not like a fiber-rich carb source, but thinking about if you can do quinoa. Oats are a fiber-rich carb source. Also too is like berries, apples, pears, kiwi. Those are low glycemic, high fiber carb sources that you can have as a carb on your plate too. But like I said, I'm adding white rice here, and you can have that in there too. You might just not have 2 cups of cooked rice. It might be lower than that. You want to increase the volume of your non-starchy vegetables in there. And then also the most important portion on your plate is what I think is your protein portion. So I have ground beef that I am putting in here, some cooked ground beef. And I'm making sure that there is at least 5 ounces in there of cooked ground beef according to my goals. That way I know that I am getting in enough protein at my meals. And also just getting them from an animal source can really help too. And what I do with most of my bowls, because for some reason to me, everything just tastes better in bowl form. So if I can throw it in a bowl, perfect, I'm there for it. You can create really simple, delicious meals. I also got some coconut aminos, so I'm gonna throw on the rice there a little bit. And then I just have myself a meal that is volumized, and how you can make it more fat loss friendly for yourself is to, again, half that bowl, fill it up with 1 to 2 cups of cooked vegetables, get that fiber, vitamins, and minerals, about 4 to 5 ounces of protein, of cooked protein, depending on your goals. You might need a little more, and then adding in that complex carbohydrate source. So if you're just starting, you can use like even your hand to measure portions, about like a mound full in there. So half cup cooked rice, that would be a perfect macronutrient ratio. But of course, you might need a little bit more or a little bit less depending on your activity level, your body weight, size, stature, all those things. So take this with a grain of salt, but focus on the balanced plate, balanced bowl method, and that will get you one step closer to your fat loss goals. Okay, so another tip to suggest when you are trying to lose that stubborn belly fat is to really focus your workouts and exercise routine on a weekly basis by focusing on strength training. And by that, I mean prioritize your strength training over running miles and miles and miles a week. Now, your body is capable of so much more, but if you are a beginner and somebody that has tried time and time again, you stepped on the treadmill and tried to start running for an hour or even just half hour straight, trying to lose that belly fat, you might have seen short-term results, but then the weight gain will come on even faster. The thing here is what you really want to focus on is strength training is like that secret weapon for your belly fat, because when we focus on progressive overload in a week-to-week basis, and I'm talking about consistent training on a week-to-week basis, you know, focusing on your compound movements, squats, deadlift, even like bench press, shoulder presses, but also like lunges, those types of movements, and basing your workouts on strength focus, This really helps build that muscle. And when we build muscle, we burn fat, because the more muscle we have on our bodies, the more metabolically active we are. And to support that, you have to tie that into the nutrition piece with the balanced meals and eating enough protein to support that muscle growth development. Remember here, when you are exercising on a weekly basis, don't try to hit the treadmill and think you are gonna lose all this fat. You might lose weight, but you're probably not going to get the ideal body composition that you are actually striving for in a fat loss journey. Two other things to really focus on when you're strength training: focus on form. So don't be swinging around weights like crazy. That will, you might be at higher risk of injury just kind of willy-nilly lifting weights. I would say focus on prioritizing your form, slow down the movement, really focus on breathing. What muscles are you actually working? And then, you know, you can combine strength training. I like to combine strength training with either like a HIIT session during the week or a couple of those, but it's not like you're doing everyday HIIT. So what that could look like for the beginner and what I would program would be like 3 days a week we're focused on strength training, and then we might do 1 or 2 HIIT style cardio workouts that, depending on where you're coming from and your experience, and then that will be enough of a stimulus. In addition to those two, some cardio in there, like very intentional cardio and the strength training, you want to increase your daily movement. So your non-exercise activity, which is your NEAT exercise. So doing the laundry, just taking the dog for a walk, deep cleaning the house, those types of things can really get your energy expenditure up throughout the day without you being like, oh, I have to take up this whole block of time. The next thing I want to talk about is stress management and your sleep. So these are 2 very underrated factors in a fat loss journey. Sleep is often overlooked. We often push sleep to the side. We have a sleep when we're dead mentality, like it's work, 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 or we're just staying up all hours of the night, and then we wonder why we're so tired, or we're having stubborn belly fat gain around the midsection area. Lack of sleep consistently over time can really contribute to an overproduction of cortisol, the stress hormone in your body. So when we have that really taps into your body saying, hey, let's store some fat, specifically around that abdominal area, and it makes it harder to lose that belly fat. Poor sleep also disrupts hormones. So cortisol is a hormone, but also disrupts your female reproductive hormones and your thyroid hormones, all that deal with the metabolism. Now, when I say like manage stress, I don't mean get rid of stress. I mean manage stress. And that means that take an inventory of your life. What are the biggest stressors in your life? Start there and then be like, okay, what can I control in this situation? What can I not control? Always 100% of the time, you can control your reaction and your thought about the situation. That is what I would say, start there. Like, how are you reacting to these things that do stress you out, whether it be in work or life? The last thing I want to touch on in this video is how to stay motivated. When somebody is after like, hey, I want to lose belly fat, what commonly happens when you go on a fat loss journey and you want to lose that stubborn belly fat, there is an obsession that can be built with, oh, I'm trying to target this belly fat. We cannot spot reduce fat. Even in this journey, you might be seeing changes elsewhere, like in your arms, your legs, your face, how your clothes fit, those non-scale victories. Even the scale might be going down a little bit, but that stubborn belly fat is still there. People do not give themselves enough time to see the long-term effects of sticking with a consistent routine. And I'm not talking a month. I am talking anywhere from 4 to 6 months to see the changes happen in a long period of time, even up to a year. Like, it is a long-term process, because if you put in that work in that time, that's gonna last you years and years and years, because you've built such great habits and strong habits that are gonna stick with you for a lifetime. So stick with your journey, even if the belly fat is not the first thing to go, which it women, like ladies, it will likely not be the first thing to go. It's typically the last thing. The other factors that can play a role are genetics. So just how you are built, where you store body fat, that can also play a role. So there might need to be a little bit more aggressive approach at some point in time if you have specific goals in that midsection area. So to lose belly fat, it comes down to these things: balanced nutrition and eating enough protein, prioritizing your strength training, and managing your stress and getting enough sleep. That's really what it comes down to. Tap into your mindset, do some inventory on your life and how you are viewing your fat loss journey. Like, what lens are you looking through? Is it a growth mindset that you are going at this with, or is it a pretty closed off mindset? Just continue to learn throughout your journey, and you are doing great. I know you are. Thanks for tuning into this video. I hope it helped anybody out there struggling on your fat loss journey or struggling with that stubborn belly fat that just can't seem to go away. Stay strong, stay nourished, and I will see you in the next video.